I broadcast from the front edge of the mezzanine, and in the first row right behind me used to sit a Jewish gentleman. And I knew he was Jewish because when I said swish, he would say swish.
He had Glickman words. With him as the dominant sports broadcaster, it pervaded the whole game and pervaded the whole way people talk about the game.
Marty developed a way of calling a game that laid out the geography of the court.
Go baseline. Is it the left-hand corner? Is it the right-hand corner?
Was he driving down the lane? Is he driving across? He made that little subtle difference that made the game come to life.
That allowed someone listening on the radio to picture the positioning of the players, that whole theater of the mind thing.
Other broadcasters will talk about Smith passing to Jones. Now it comes to Isaac shoots, that kind of a description. My goal was to have the listener see the game as I saw the game. I just followed the ball.
Knickerbocker's ball, they move it into the forecourt along the right sideline. A bounce pass over the right corner to Tommy Byrne. Back along the side to Sheckman for a two-handed side set. It's good!
How he stayed on top of the play was amazing. It was like his voice was attached to the ball.
Vince Barilla has it in the corner, moves out along the sideline. Over to Al McGuire at the top of the key. He drives, pulls up, jumps, and he hits.
As I saw it, I said it, and also felt it. And the feeling of it is just as important as the description of it. And you use the right phraseology, nothing fancy. A dribble is a dribble. Is a phrase they use now. He puts it on the floor. Well, for me, putting it on the floor means taking the basketball and putting it on the floor. He dribbles right-handed along the right sideline. Now you see it, right-handed dribble along the right sideline. Pro basketball in the early days of the BAA and the NBA was almost like a minor league sport.
With professional basketball struggling to survive, Marty Glickman's broadcast quickly became one of the league's biggest attractions.
There was no one better to do NBA basketball than Marty Glickman.
You knew that if you heard Marty's voice, it was time to stop the dial and to listen.
White is missing. Rebound! The rebound by Chamberlain. Tremendous surges up and down the floor. Look at this crowd. 92.
It was fun. It was basic. It was rough. And it was highly competitive. And for me as a broadcaster and as a fan, it was a joy. We were one big happy family. We were all in this thing together, all enjoying it, and all looking to make it work and be successful.
I asked Marty one time how to motivate. You know, we're coming to the playoffs, so I want to know something different, how to motivate a team. So I said, why don't you come in the locker room and do this for me? So he came in the locker room, he looked at the players, looked around, went to the blackboard. He wrote down, you win 10,000, you lose 5,000.
Marty was the first television broadcaster of the NBA Game of the Week on the Dumont Network. When he learned that Dumont was folding, Marty brokered the first national broadcast deal between NBC's head of sports, Tom Gallery, and NBA Commissioner, Maurice Podoloff.
He wasn't just an announcer, he was a sports fan. And he knew that out there was this wide open market that fans would eat this stuff up. I mean, so far ahead of his time in so many different ways, as an announcer, as an executive.
The following season, Podoloff told Marty that NBC had renewed its contract with the league. That's not all he told him.
He said, Marty, I got some bad news for you. You're not going to be the broadcaster anymore. I said, I'm not? And I was shocked, amazed, surprised at all that.
NBC replaced Marty Glickman with Lindsey Nelson. Several years later, Marty ran into the executive producer of the telecast, Perry Smith. Smith told Marty the following story.
Perry told me Maurice Podoloff and Tom Gallery didn't want 3 Jewish names at the top of the NBA. Maurice Podoloff, Haskell Cohn, and Marty Glickman, the voice of the NBA. And that's the reason you were not selected to contend.
What Marty did at the time was deal with the Jewish situation
because a lot of people don't think of the struggle that the Jews had as far as racism and prejudice.
I'll tell you one story. Sports announcers are long-winded anyhow, so just one story more. After the games, I ran in Paris, and there were two Japanese sprinters, Yoshioka and Suzuki. And as I dug my starting hole, I noted that in lane number 1 was Suzuki, and we smiled at each other. I liked him. He liked me. I know it. I could tell by the look in his eye. I won the race. Wyckoff was second. Suzuki was third. And as we jogged back to the starting line to pick up our warm-up clothes, I felt a tap on my shoulder, turned, and there was Suzuki extending his hand, those wonderful brown, soft eyes, smiling at me. He congratulated me. I didn't speak Japanese. He didn't speak English. But that's all there was. But there was an empathy between us. I mentioned earlier I was a Marine during World War II. You know how Marines felt about the Japanese, particularly the Marines. Early in 1942, I read where in the landings on Luzon, a Japanese lieutenant, a former Olympic sprinter, was killed in those landings. And I, a Marine, cried. Now, can you imagine the feeling we had for each other? We'd known each other 2 minutes, 3 minutes. He was a Japanese soldat. I was an American Marine, and I cried for him. That's what athletics can do. That's what sports can do. And it doesn't have to be the Olympic Games. It can be the schoolyards. It can be the New York Knicks. That's what sports truly is all about. The camaraderie, the love we feel for each other.